One thing that Scott talks about a lot that really kind of like got my heart is where people think that their family members have moved down south for a better life and they don't even know they're homeless. And so when we find out somebody has passed away and Scott calls them and says, hey, I want you to know your father or your mother has passed away, and they're like, well, why do you know that? They had no idea that their family member was homeless, and that really tugs at my heart a lot because I can't imagine.
And it's unfortunately more common than people think. I'm 61 years old. When we were younger, we always traveled to the grandparents' house. Now the grandparents do most of the traveling.
Right.
And so they assume, one of the things we've seen many times is where an older gentleman, his wife got terminally ill. He threw everything he had at it to save her.
Yeah.
And then she finally passes. His resources are depleted. He's given up. He goes, I'll just die too. Well, then they realize after a while that they don't get to pick and choose how that's going to happen. And so what happens, they'll take a bus ride home, or sometimes fly, usually a bus ride because it's cheaper, and they'll bus ride home and go up north, and they see their family and stuff, and everybody thinks, hey, Dad is down south and living in Florida. Everybody wants to live in Florida, right? Living the dream,
right?
And they're shocked, and they sometimes don't want to believe it, but a lot of it has to do with pride.
Yeah.
And a lot of these men especially will sit there and say, Scott, my son or my daughter, they have enough issues of their own. They don't need to worry about me. And they tell me that if I break that confidence, that they'll not come back. And I've had it happen. So I have to swallow that, pray through it, and then know that I'm going to have to possibly make that phone call.